did the requirement to file. Following the updates for the beneficial ownership information reports, you might know it has changed quite frequently. On December 3rd, a federal district court halted the requirement to file but recently the Fifth Circuit ruled to lift that halt, making it a requirement to file the reports once again. So joining us today with everything that you need to know to break this all down is Kimberly Washington. First, what is the current status of those reports and what should business owners know right now?
Right, so if you are a business owner, you definitely want to pay attention to this news. You are required to file the BOI reports. Keep in mind that about a few weeks ago, it was lifted, and at that time, you weren't required to file, but now all of that has changed once again. So keep in mind, this came about as a result of the Corporate Transparency Act of 2021, and the purpose was for the federal government to identify specific business owners so that could, of course, eliminate fraud. So this is something you want to keep your eye out, and you definitely do need to file those reports.
Yeah, and as we talk about that, what types of businesses were required to do so?
Right, so if you are a business, a corporation, an LLC, you are required to file. Also, if you're even a foreign company as well, you may also be required to file. But keep in mind, there are certain exemptions depending on the type of business that you do have. Accounting firms, nonprofits, banks, insurance companies, they're not required to file this report. They fall under exemption, so you definitely want to go to the FinCEN's website to find out whether or not you are still required as it relates to those exemptions.
And Kim, we're talking about this new ruling. With the new ruling, what are the new deadlines now for businesses?
Right, so the deadlines, they do vary depending on when you started your business. So just so you want to keep in mind, number one, if you have a company that was created before January 1st, now the deadline is January 13th. So it's no longer January 1st, it is January 13th, 2025. Keep in mind, if you started after that time, there's some different deadlines. So you definitely want to go to the website and see where your deadline would fall. And last but certainly not least, this is so important for our area. Companies who are in areas that were impacted by certain disasters, such as us, Hurricane Francine, you have 6 additional months. So if you live within this area, you can have just a little sigh of relief because you have more time. So you definitely want to go to the website and see what other disasters do qualify if you don't live in Louisiana.
Definitely so. A good reminder there for us as well. And then finally, Kim, what are the penalties for someone who has not filed?
Right. So the penalties are very extensive and very expensive. So number one, you definitely want to go to the website and see again whether or not you're required to file, because keep in mind, civil penalties could be as high as $500 a day. Criminal penalties up to $10,000, and get this, 2 years of prison as well. So these are some really, really deep issues when it comes to this BOI report. If you are a small business owner or even a larger corporation, you definitely want to look at this and see whether or not you're required to file.
Yeah, and definitely don't want that.
Don't want those penalties. Too expensive.
No, definitely so. Kimberly, thank you so much. Great advice.